G'day everyone, today we're going to do a video on the things you should look for when you're going to buy a bus or a motorhome or anything that you're ready to convert into a motorhome. We bought a bus obviously, and these are the things that you guys should look for.
Yeah, because we didn't and we regret it later.
Sort of, yeah. So the first thing you should look for if you're going to buy a bus is when you actually get to the bus, you should look for rust. This is what I mean when I say you should look for rust. This wasn't this bad when I looked at the bus, but obviously it's gotten worse. Rust is just the process of converting iron into, I forgot the name of it, but basically it weakens the base metal. Eventually rust is like cancer for your vehicle. It'll weaken the base metal, and eventually it'll peel away. So you should look for obviously brown bubbles in your paint. That's not a good thing. So a small amount of surface rust like this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's pretty easy to fix. You just sand it off or you cut it out and replace it. The rust that's really bad is the rust that's structural in your structural metals. So anything that's on mounts, on frames and supports, anything like that, any rust there, and you can see it's really bad because it's eating in. Anything like that, you should just turn away and not buy that vehicle because it's a bad idea. Stuff like that takes time and a lot of money to fix. So this is what I mean by structural. See this big support beam? There's supports here, supports back there. Any rust in this area, don't buy the bus. It's your head, because it's cancer. It'll cost you time and money to fix. Structural rust isn't so bad. Rust in here is really bad. Don't buy a bus. It's got rust in there. This stuff. Got it?
Yeah.
This stuff's just surface rust. It's not so bad. That's fixable. A little bit of paint, be fine. So the next thing you should look for when you buy a bus is the condition of the tyres, of the rubber itself. I don't know if you'll be able to see, but I can fit most of my finger in the top tread. So there's still a lot of tread on this tyre, which is really good. These big tyres like this are very expensive, so you don't want to buy a bus and have to replace the tyres straight up. That's just another expense that you don't need. These are, blah 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 blah, if I can find it, retreadable. Can't find it, which that's a good thing to have in a bus tyre. Retreadable tyres are great. Yeah, so check your tyres before you buy a bus. If they're in good condition, you got good rubber all around, then it's a plus, it's a tick. If you don't have good tyres, just take that into consideration before you buy. So there's a good shot of how much rubber, how much tread is left on this tyre. Still heaps of tread, so it's a good sign. Another thing you should look for before you buy a bus is your mechanical side. So does it run? Is it already on the road? Is it registered? Is it roadworthy? Is it safe? Does the engine start? Is it blowing black smoke? What the colour of the oil is? You know, diesels are generally, the oil's going to be black anyway. But yeah, all the mechanical side, because you don't want to buy a bus. I don't want to buy a bus to have to work on it mechanically. I'm not that way inclined. There's other things I'd rather be doing with my time, like travelling. So the less mechanical work you have to do, the better. Check the condition of your belts. Make sure they're nice and new. They're not frayed. They're not cracked. They're not faded or weathered. They're expensive as well, so you don't want to have to replace them too soon. Check the tension on them. You don't want them too tight, but you don't want them loose either. That's a pretty good tension there. We do have some, I don't know, small corrosion issues in the bus, but that's nothing. That's easy to fix. That's just a bit of paint. So yeah, make sure your engine works, make sure your lights work, all your electricals work, make sure it starts pretty much first time. Check the condition of your batteries, because batteries are expensive. You don't want to have to replace your batteries straight up. Take it for a test drive too. Does it ride smooth on the road? Are there any bumps? Is your steering loose? All these things are pretty important when you buy a bus. So make sure it's mechanically sound if you can, because it's a good idea. Yeah, while we're talking mechanical, you should also get under the bus and check for leaks. Like if you see oil dripping anywhere, or if there's oily residue on where parts come together on the seams, it's generally an oil leak or a leak, which you don't want. If your bus has an air system, so like air suspension or air brakes, with a lot of them do, you want to check for leaks in that. You just get a bit of soapy water, rub it on all your lines and all the seals, and if the soap bubbles up, you've got an air leak, which is not ideal. When we bought this bus, within the first 2 months, one of the front airbags went down, so we had to fix that. So it wasn't great, but it is what it is. So while we're talking about leaks, we should talk about water leaks as well, because that's something that we've had a problem with. I don't know if it's possible, but if you go to look at your bus, if you can run a hose on the roof, if you can just soak it like it's actual rain, or if you can go see it on a rainy day, that would be even better, because water will get in where you don't think it will get in. We've had leaks problems with this bus ever since we bought it, and we're constantly trying to fix it. So we've got little containers around to sort of catch the water, and we've got the towel to stop it from from damaging anything. So if you can, check for water leaks, check for rain leaks if you can. That's a good idea as well. One of the last things that we look for when we're buying a bus is the floor layout, the floor configuration. We wanted a nice flat level floor. Some buses have a walkway in between the seats and it's not flat. Some buses, the floor will slant to the front to aid water runoff. We wanted a nice flat level floor. That just makes everything so much easier when you're converting your bus, when you're putting stuff in and figuring stuff out. So if you're looking for a bus to convert, I would suggest to look for one with a nice flat level floor. One that's strong as well, one that's obviously you got to watch out for rust, so you're not going to fall through the floor. You want a good amount of material, whether it be metal or wood or whatever. You want a good strong base for your building. Another thing that I should have mentioned earlier, but it didn't come to mind until now, is safety, particularly fire safety, because you don't want to be trapped in your bus. If there's a fire at the front, you can't get to an exit. So when we looked at this bus, something that I had in mind, obviously we've got the front door we can get out of. We've got 2 emergency roof hatches. There's one here, one in the bedroom, and there's also an emergency window right there. So we can kick that out if we have to. So fire safety is very important. We've also got a fire extinguisher at the front of the bus, and there's one fire extinguisher down in the tool cabinet as well. So yeah, fire safety. Alright guys, thanks for watching today. If you have any questions, or if there's anything you think I've missed, make sure you comment on the video below. Thanks for watching again. If you like the video, make sure you subscribe, give it a thumbs up, give it a share. It really helps us out as a small channel. So thanks a lot, and we'll see you in the next one. The starting's always the worst. Okay, g'day everyone. Today this video will be about the things we...
Start again.
Yeah.